Hey and welcome back to Main Irish Angling TV. Now today we're looking at a range of products called Ace. Ace is a company that started up in the UK. It's been going for a little while now. It's the brainchild of Max Codis of Fox fame. Now Max is a well-known carp angler, probably one of the best known in the UK. He's a real innovator and he makes some really good products. So today we're looking at this product called the Ace Kickers. And we have a couple of other bits from Ace to look at, but we're predominantly looking at the Ace Kickers. Now, basically what the Ace Kicker is, it's a pre-formed piece of silicone that acts as a liner. So it's a bit of tubing that will fit over the eye of the hook and has a very set kick to give you that liner effect. Very handy. Now, where this stands out, I mean, most people use shrink tube to create this sort of liner effect. But sometimes if you're a short session angler like me, you're not bringing a whole heap of cooking bits and pieces. So you're not bringing the stove, you're not bringing the kettle. So steaming up shrink tube is just a no-go for you. So these kickers come in really handy. If you're on the bank and you need to make a couple of rigs up fast that incorporate the liner, it's probably the only way to do it. They're reusable, so when the rig is spent, the hook is done in, and you want to change over, you can literally cut the actual braid, take it off and keep it in your box for the next rig. They come in two different sizes. This is the standard size and they also have a mini. The standard size is fitting well onto a size 7 SSC armor point from Fox. Really rate this hook, by the way. And you know, it just sits really well and makes the braid behave really aggressively on the actual when you're lifting it up over your hand, doing a hand test. You know, the braid normally can be a bit floppy and sometimes you get a good purchase, sometimes not, but with this you're getting it every single time. They can be cut slightly if you find them too big or too long. You can cut them down slightly to suit, and yeah, ever so impressed. They also do two other ones. Now, by the way, these all come in a variety of colours. I think there's green, gravel and silt. They have the withy pull one, which is a soft curved one. Again, this can be cut down to size if it doesn't suit you at that length. They do this in a mini and a standard as well. And they also do the sit up and beg piece, which is Max Codis's own version. I suppose it's withy poolish. Both of these are used with pop-ups and very effective rigs too. So you can use these if you want to create a very low sitting pop-up rig on the bottom. All in all, I have to say, I mean, I've used these now for the first time in session. I've had 2 nice fish on them and I could really recommend them. Very handy to put on, very easy to take off, and they do the job. They're a basic component, but they do the job and they do it well. So if you're an angler like me who doesn't always have time to be bringing out the kitchen sink and you want something that you can now and again make up a few rigs, they're not cheap, but considering that they are reusable, so you can get them, you know, as long as you don't lose the rig, you'll always have these. They actually work out far more economical than, say, look at the shrink tubing. So check it out. You know, they're a nice little handy piece. So that's the kickers from Ace. Ace also do this really little handy multi-tool. Now, I've been using multi-tools for a long time. They're just dead handy, but this one I like because it incorporates 3 different tools in the one. And what they're used for is for tying up rigs. So what you have here is you have a very ergonomic triangle with a hole in the middle so you can put your finger in to pull, and you've got 3 different kind of points. The first one here is for swivels, the second one here is for hooks themselves, and the third one is kind of this point so you can pull out knots, and you can you know, if you're tying loops and stuff like that, you can actually just pull it out so you can tease things out. Handy little gadget, and it fits neatly into your box. Well thought out, as I said, nice and ergonomic and made thankfully in that nice big luminous green colour, which allows you to find it when you put it down again, which is always my bone of contention with anything, especially if it's camouflaged. Now, the last two things we're going to look at from Ace are they do these little tungsten beads. These are much heavier than lead shot, and the great thing about these are tiny. These are the small version. They do them up to, I think, extra large. I'm not sure, you need to check that out. Again, they're much heavier than split shot, so you can use one of these to keep your rig very, very streamlined. And you can add them, especially if you're using, say, that withy pull rig or the sit up and beg rig that I just showed you the kickers for. You know, a nice little addition to your tackle box. And the last thing I'm going to look at are the bait screws. Now, I have to say, when I first saw bait screws, I thought, what a load of toss. How could anybody use a bait screw? They just don't look right. Having used them, that changed my mind completely, and I have to say I'm a big fan of bait screws. I've been using the Tasca version, I've been using the Ace ones here, and I have to say, brilliant piece of kit. Now, what they are is a little screw that you can add to your rig. You can either tie them off or you can use them on a D-rig, which is the most popular one. If you're using chods or anything like that, these are fantastic. And the idea is you just then screw the pop-up on. You don't have to be using floss or bait needles or anything like that. And the cup at the bottom of the actual screw itself is kind of curved, so when the boilie sits in it, it actually seals it up. And that's a great feature to have, because what can happen is you get an awful lot of water rushing in the perforations of, you know, say if you drilled it out to put some floss through, the water can seep in over hours and actually take away the buoyancy of the actual pop-up. So these stop that happening. Now, I've chucked these a long way. I've cast a rig out over 100 yards with you know, a pop-up on with a bait screw. They don't come off. They're fantastic for that. And it's just a nice, quick, easy way of sticking on a pop-up. So if you're a pop-up user, check out the bait screws, and they come in these nice little boxes. So that's it from Main Irish Angling TV today. Just a quick look at the Ace range, which is currently being stocked in the store. I will admit, Ace is not cheap gear, but the stuff that I've seen is high quality. I've used it to good effect, and it's got me a couple of nice fish, so I'm not gonna complain. So there you have it, 2610 caught on solar baits with an Ace kicker, the liner style, on a shortish hook length in a bag, PVA bag. So without a shadow of a doubt, the Ace kickers do really work. They're a real handy item if you are a short session angler like me, where you don't really sort of bring the kettle and the stove, and you can't be steaming hook lengths and you can't be steaming shrink tubing. They make a real handy alternative. So yeah, there you go, nice fish. And the kickers are available at mainirishangling.com.